Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're joining us from today. And welcome to the webinar. Thank you for joining us. This is Acquire New Customers Faster, Easier, Cheaper with a Customer Data Platform. My name is Nikki Collard. I'm the Senior Product Marketing Manager here at Arm Treasure Data. And I am joined for today's presentation by our Senior Product Manager, Yili Wang. So before we get started today and dive into the agenda, I just wanted to get through a few housekeeping items with you. We are on the BrightTalk platform. This is where you signed up. And of course, all of this is going to get recorded. So if for some reason during the presentation you have to take off, or you'd like to share this with a friend later on in the day or next week, it'll be here online for you and available on demand. As well, we want to get your questions answered. So because this isn't a two-way presentation, unfortunately, we'll have to take those questions at the end, but the Q&A panel there on BrightTalk is available to you at any point in time that you want to type in a question. So with that, let's go ahead and take a look at what we'll be talking about today. Of course, this is a product launch presentation. We introduced some new product updates back in April. And so I want to take you through kind of the theme around some of these products that have a lot to do with customer acquisition and keeping the cost of customer acquisition costs in line with your goals. So we'll do a quick little presentation on what that means. We'll dive into the highlighted features in this latest launch that help you with keeping those costs of customer acquisition in line. And then Yili's going to give us a demonstration of our new Customer Journey Orchestration. She's going to take you kind of through a day in the life of a digital marketer and how they use these new capabilities to set up a customer journey and orchestrate campaigns through that new feature. And then, of course, we'll leave you with some good upcoming webinars. We started a brand new series of webinars, so we wanted to make sure that if you're interested, you can come on back and hear more from us. So no matter how you are gaining customers these days or acquiring new customers these days, you're probably spending in a couple of categories. You know, you're out there in using traditional media and spending your money on print advertising, TV, radio, that sort of thing. A lot of people, obviously, these days are spending a lot of money online, doing a lot of digital ad spending as well. Interestingly enough, we're going to hit a benchmark, and of course, digital ad spend's been growing and growing. You'll see here from the statistics from eMarketer.com that digital spend, while still growing, is growing at a slower pace. That's what they're forecasting. But we'll hit a benchmark this year in that digital ad spend overall is going to take over as a majority of spend from traditional channels. And then they've predicted out in 2023, in the next 3 years, that it will be about 60% of the overall ad spend. And then it's interesting to note, obviously, that the big players there and where people are actually spending their money are with the big duopoly too of Google and Facebook. These are all worldwide statistics. So obviously you have some contenders in there in the market, with Amazon taking up a greater share these days. They're sort of gaining a little bit more, and we think that's probably because of a lot of the direct-to-consumer startups out there wanting to advertise on platforms like Amazon, Alibaba, to get all of that fantastic benefit from the purchase and transactional data that they accumulate. And costs of acquisition, understanding them, are pretty important. So no matter where you're spending your money, quite honestly, understanding cost of acquisition is going to be key. And as David Kennedy here notes, kind of stating something obviously, ultimately, the business that can spend the most to acquire a customer wins. Well, we all know that we wish we could spend everything and anything we had the budgets to do that in order to beat out our competitors. But we don't. So we always have to sort of pay attention to how much we can. And it really is a matter of understanding the value of that customer over the lifetime to be able to get that spending right. But I'm not here to give you a microeconomics lesson and how all of that works out necessarily. But there are a few interesting things that are happening in the market today that are going to create bigger pressures on your overall cost of acquisition in general for everybody. Cost of acquisition, the calculation, here it is. You've got all the people that are associated with your digital ad spend. So if we're just looking at this for digital ad spending, all the people that you employ there, all the tools that you give them to make decisions on where to spend that money. And then you go and spend that on different platforms, and that's that paid marketing piece. And of course, a big portion of all of this is conversion overall. How many customers are you going to actually be able to capture with those dollars at the end of the day? So what we've noted, and I was doing a bit of research just to kind of figure out, and I've been reading quite a bit on just overall trends in customer acquisition, prospecting methods, and that sort of thing. I ran into an article Mary Meeker had contributed and done a study, but they were noting that the demand of all of these new direct-to-consumer brands that are out there, and if you think about it, how many new mattress companies have you seen come online recently? I mean, I can buy razors, right, and blades from at least 3 or 4 different subscription companies, that I've seen lately on TV. There's a lot of them. And they're all using this channel, this digital media channel, to build their businesses online, right? And with all of this demand, it's creating more competition. And it's actually increasing the overall dollars that you need to spend per impression. We don't see that this is going to slow down anytime soon. Some of these companies are getting a lot of really good traction. But overall, you're competing in a noisy marketplace. Now, I'm sure inventory will catch up eventually, but this is definitely causing some pressures right now. And the real key for some of these customers, obviously, is to be able to gain that lifetime value as quickly as possible, right, to get some returns on that investment. And then I almost hate to bring it up, but, we are at the top of a major recession right now. And a lot of people are noting the fact that, advertising isn't really getting looked at. It's not as effective anymore. If you're not an essential product or service, probably your ad spend's going to suffer from a little bit of that lower conversion. You're not going to get as many people as you see in that denominator that are converting. Demand will come back, and when it does, it's obviously going to be really important to have your eye on the ball with regards to how effective and efficient you're going to be with those decisions to spend more money in the advertising channels. So I went out and I was wondering, what do people think about their current state of being effective with their digital ad spend? And I found a study that Nielsen had done. In this study, they asked very specifically about the effectiveness of certain digital channels. And you'll see there that, and they did break out between agencies and brands specifically, but you'll see the first 3 line up pretty well in terms of what they really feel is effective for their companies. Search, of course, is a big one, video, social channels. And then they asked them the next question about how confident they were in their ability to actually measure the return on those investments. And you'll see that video and social dropped in those statistics quite significantly. People are very sure of email. They know that they can understand their returns, right? So some of these newer channels, and video is great, and I can see where people would think, yeah, this is a great place for me. If you've got visual stimulating products and services, it's just, even for B2B, it's a great channel. But people are having a hard time feeling confident about whether or not they're actually getting the return on the money from this stuff. And I think this is because some of these channels are a little bit newer and people are still trying to figure it out. And it's a bit complex as well. And then in follow-on to all of this, in the same study, Nielsen asked about where they're really prioritizing, right? Their processes, people's skills, what do they really need to do to get better and more effective and efficient in their ad spend? So it's leading me to believe that, not only does smart digital advertising, but not only do they need measurement, you need more proof that you're getting that ROI. But I think from this answer here, I think we also need to understand the data a little bit better. And people aren't necessarily prioritizing that. I mean, I would agree with the fact that you need to advertise audience targeting. That is key, absolutely key. And along with the creative and being able to reach the people that you want to reach through these campaigns. The data, I feel, underlies all of that. It helps with targeting, right? And targeting in specific channels, if you truly understand who you're targeting and why, if they look like your best customers, that's pretty important. So it's interesting to note people aren't necessarily prioritizing their data quality, right? And really just making sure that that's on target. So when we take a look at what we've done in the last couple of quarters in development and investments that we're making with our product and the people as well, we feel that we're helping our customers deal with some of this data quality issue very specifically. So not only are customers, gaining rich insights from unified customer views, which is what our CDP provides, and they are efficiently starting to engage their customers a little bit more, understand exactly who those customers are, who their best customers are, and then are able to leverage that in those new and interesting digital channels like we discussed, video and social across the board. We feel like we do this in a couple of unique ways. We really do help our customers dig into their data, ingest it as quickly as they possibly can in order to understand it without having to organize it first. This way we get our customers to insights and that unified view a lot faster. We're cutting out a lot of complexity when we do that there. And we help them, we don't make them convert their data to a model that we think will work for them. We work with them to make the model that works with their business, right? So we're helping cut through a lot of that complexity and at the same time, getting them set with a great process for acquiring customers so that they have the ability to roll that out. If they test it and go to market in a certain region or in a specific business unit, we're making sure that they can future-proof, right, and enabling them with enterprise capabilities that allow them for a global rollout of really good processes once they get good at what they're doing, right? So that's the technology foundation that we're building. One of our customers that came along with us in this launch really helped us out in understanding their needs and have been helping us all along in driving direction for the product with AB InBev. They're one of the largest beer manufacturers in the world, if not the largest. We started with them down in Latin America, and they really are a testament to enterprise capability, being able to take the product, their processes, the solution that they've built on treasure data and roll that out to new places. We're currently in the works with them, rolling this out in North America and in Europe as well. With their first implementation, when they first got the system, we're implementing to the use case that they had defined. We took a lot of different websites that they had in Latin America across different brands, took that data, about 300 million data points, and unified it over 30 days. It took us about 30 days to do that, just on the initial go. There was definitely more work to do after that. But in that one unification process, we were able to deduplicate about 1 million profiles. And that meant a lot to them, specifically in the area of cost of acquisition, because what that meant is that they weren't spending incremental dollars for impressions that they didn't need, right? They weren't hitting up the same person 3 or 4 different times. So that meant about a 36% potential ad cost savings to them, and they are seeing those types of results right now. Thus, their want for making sure that they can get those unified profiles working in different regions around the world. So we're really happy to have them along and guide us in our development and in our investments. So in the last couple of quarters, there are about 3 things that I want to highlight for you guys here. We came out with an early access program for our customer journey orchestration features. I'll introduce you a little bit more to that later. Yuli is going to give you an actual demonstration of what that looks like. As well, we'll talk a little bit more about how we're helping our customers in acquiring their own new customers through our integration. We have about 20 new connectors that we've developed over the last couple of quarters, and about 6 of those are coming onto our platform very specifically through LiveRamp, our partnership with LiveRamp. So I'll tell you a little bit more about that. And of course, I want to let you all know about how we're expanding our overall services and making sure that global expansion, like we're helping with AB InBev, that happens for our customers. So we'll be going through each of these. We'll take a look at the new connectors, very specifically the LiveRamp integration, what we do after we create those connectors, because it's pretty important, and then talk a little bit more about expanded support. So we're taking and expanding the segmentation tools that we already have to help our customers launch individual campaigns. So this is audience management. They can get in there. They can take one big group of audience members and break that up into very precise segments for the sake of launching an individual campaign. And they can automate this. So one of my better examples is the case where you would have a visitor to your website come in, take a look at a certain set of product pages, maybe sign up for a blog, and they could be doing this over a number of days or weeks or months. But once you start to see this behavior, right, and this is happening within their profiles, within Treasure Data, you could automate a process that says, hey, once they've done all of these things, why don't we just automate and go ahead and send them out an email to be part of our loyalty program? So that's the example of sort of an individual campaign. And what we're doing with Journey Orchestration is we're sort of taking that to the next level. And now we're allowing our customers to go in and set up a sequence of events, say a purchase journey, for instance, right? Because that really does speak to acquisition, so that you can see all of the activities and behaviors that somebody is taking and how they're responding to those campaigns sequentially. So you're engaging them throughout a journey. And it doesn't necessarily need to be a purchase journey. It could be just the journey they take to become a loyalty member, like in my previous example. So we'll go into a little bit more of that. And so the journey itself itself, and I wanted to kind of give you a quick example. This is a journey stage, a very typical funnel that all marketers are used to, from awareness all the way down to loyalty. And so if you're following a customer through that journey with you, you could be setting up rules in our segmentation builder that say, hey, I want to see people who are age 18 or more, have a household income of 75K or more, and they've viewed some of these pages on their website, right? And then once they have dropped into that segment, right, you're then activating out and saying, hey, I want to retarget them on Google Ads, I want to do a display ad to them, and I want to follow up maybe with a nurture email or something like that. And then you're looking at the engagement from that. So if they're engaging with you, if they're taking those cues, and you're having some impression on them, then they might drop into consideration. And you can start to add other things and other behaviors you'd like to see when you feel like somebody's in that consideration phase. And so you can see how you can follow somebody through their journey and engage with them through every step to influence that path to purchase. So that's what we're doing with our customer journey orchestration. And we're doing this a little bit differently, and you probably are well aware of journey orchestration just kind of as a product category itself. There's a lot of folks that have some sort of either journey mapping or some business logic and rules-based engines that you can use for this. I think it's going to be pretty powerful when it is a part of a customer data platform, because right at that point in time, you have all of your data that's being organized, unified, classified, and you can use that dynamic segmentation right at that point for basically your best journey decisioning. One of the ways that we're improving decisioning along that path is through allowing our customers to use the predictive analytics and affinity modeling that we already have on the platform, right? So that's just going to improve overall journey planning at that point. So if you wanted to include predictive scores in some of those stages, you could. And you'd have all of the best information about those customers at your fingertips in order to do that. And you don't have to go back and reconcile that data into a different engine, which is great. And we're allowing our people to do this at scale. There's a lot of one-to-one personalization tools that really get you down to just a couple people that you're engaging in any one stage, which is great for one-to-one marketing. But what we're talking about is being able to do this at scale, right, with thousands of people potentially all at the same time. So that kind of gives you a little bit of feeling about how we're doing things a little bit differently. Another customer of ours, Linden Lab, if you're not familiar with Linden Lab, they have created an online community and economy called Second Life. Second Life allows their community members to suit up in their avatar, create new environments online, new places to work, new places to live, new places to engage and entertain themselves. They came online many, many, many years ago, and they really have been doubling down since then on their original investments in this virtual world and economy that they've started. And in order to do that and to focus a little bit more, their lifeline really is all about new players. Right? New players get really into their communities and start to understand how their players are engaging as well. So we're helping their digital marketing manager a lot with new player acquisition. He's getting a lot of better visibility into those communities' experiences, is really leveraging identity resolution across those communities to better understand how players are interacting in different places if they have multiple avatars. And then he's able just to get more efficient with the campaigns that he's running. So he's running campaigns now through about 25 different channels and is able to efficiently manage that. Overall, he's estimating that he's been able to reduce his overall cost of acquisition by about 17%. And not only that, but he swears that that with the solution that he's running right now, with the processes that he's got running on treasure data, that the investments themselves have paid off for each other, paid off about 3 times. So reporting about 300% ROI on his investments for the solution. It's a really good testament to the fact that, you know, we are helping our customers in getting there when it comes to acquiring new customers. We want to help our customers further by integrating with LiveRamp, which is another big part of our product launch and announcement this time around. We've got 20 new integrations, either new data sources that we're connecting to and bringing data into the system or activating out to LiveRamp connectors. We are outputting to their platform specifically, but you can access those connectors right within Treasure Data System, which is great. So you're using their identity link graph to be able to do that within Treasure Data. And we wanted to do this because we've seen our customers really want to be able to take all of the data that they're using today. You know, they've invested the time to unify it, to really dig down deep, understand who their best customers are, and they want to be able to share that with their agencies. So if they've got people that are already running programmatic programs for them, they want to just be able to enable those folks better, or they want to be able to take a little bit more control of that programmatic supply chain, right? And upskill some of the folks in their own organizations. We feel that we can help do that through our partner, LiveRamp. They've got a great setup and a fantastic identity graph that allows us to onboard data for our customers and match up their identities and their customers with their known identities out in the world and get our customers into that programmatic supply chain at any point. Programmatic supply chains tend to work very horizontally. You know, if you have to go out for the sake of reach, use a DMP to do that, to really find these new lookalike customers that you want to advertise to. And then you got to send that on over to that DSP. It's got to hook up with the supply chain. It's very complex. But we feel like LiveRamp can come in and help us cut some of that complexity out for the customers. So with that integration, what you're getting, of course, is the identity resolution. So that's happening. The authentication to LiveRamp is happening automatically, and the anonymization of your data is happening through that LiveRamp platform. We're doing this in a couple of phases. So the first phase is one way, all the way out to LiveRamp, allowing you to connect up to those 6 output connectors through Treasure Data and do that in one seamless process. But eventually, we will be taking more of their data and onboarding it for our customers and keeping it separate, right? Because you're going to have to do that for privacy concerns overall. So what's happening now is we're just getting a lot more efficient with intelligently suppressing lists in the ad channel, launching the campaigns a lot faster. That's going to help reduce the cost of acquisition overall. And we don't just build an integration and say, here you go, Mr. Customer, be on your way. We're constantly looking at these integrations and we're improving them every time. So in the last couple of quarters, these are the data sources and activation integrations that we've been working on upgrading and improving, and we're continually doing that. And we have an entire development group that is dedicated to it. And last but not least, we've been gearing up our entire team. So we've been making a lot of investments in people and expertise over the last couple of quarters, and last couple of quarters, it's been going on for the last 18 months or so. We've always had good solution engineering support, so on the get-go, if somebody needs a quick proof of concept done, new use cases, solution engineering is there to help you out with that, a full customer success team, and we're adding technical account managers on top of our support offerings. So if you need somebody that's dedicated to your organization, you can have somebody dedicated to your organization. And then I'm really happy to announce that in the last quarters, we've really built up our professional services organization overall. So what you're seeing here is the methodology that they're starting to work on and to build so that we can make sure that our customers get the right solution implemented for their business, and then overall help our solution partners in getting our solution integration partners up and running and helping their customers implement treasure data as well. So with that, I want to pass this on over to Yili. This is what you've been waiting for, is the Customer Journey Orchestration demonstration. So Yili, take it away.
Okay, thanks, Nikki. Hi, everyone. I'm here to demo how to use the customer journeys in our platform. So I'll just share my screen right now for how our customer journey looks like. And you can see in the screen here, the new feature is under our Audience Studio area, under the segments and funnels part. And in this demo, we're using Treasure Bikes, which is an online bike and bike accessories shop. And you can see that we've created quite a few different types of funnels for our example funnels here. We have a Treasure Bikes overall, people who have been browsing all of the Treasure Bikes. And then we have bicycles as well as mountain helmets. And I'll show you how that translates on the website itself. So this is the Treasure Bikes website where we are tracking these customer journeys of people going through the purchasing funnel for bikes, helmets, accessories, etc. And on this website, we placed a JavaScript SDK that we can track customer behavior. And we also have a mock integrated e-commerce store that tracks when people add to the cart and purchase items within the Treasure Bikes website. And we also can collect demographic data like age, gender, based on if we send out surveys to customers in this sample e-commerce store. And with this, we can track a user's journey, and we can use personalized offers to move them down the purchasing funnel. For example, if a customer's been browsing the bikes area within our platform, we can send them bike-related content and offers if they sign up for the customer newsletter. So here, like for example, we also, if a user comes back, we can show them customized banners to say that you're interested in our bikes, apply and join our loyalty program, and receive 10% off every purchase plus free accessories. So that's just an example of how you can use funnels to personalize the customer journey as users come back to your platform. And I'll show you now like how you can actually set up these funnels to, in our CDP so that you can personalize this journey. So what you can do to create a funnel is a very simple process. Under a folder, you can go and create a funnel, and you can fill out the name, the description, and then you can fill out the stages. So it's a minimum of 3 stages and all the way up to 8 stages. And once you fill this out, it'll look something like this, where you can have Treasure Bikes, the overall funnel for all the products. And the next action that you need to take is define the rules for how a person becomes a member of a funnel stage. And the funnel stage, there's quite a few different ways that you can add rules for how to define a funnel stage membership. So this is a purchasing funnel. So we have the awareness stage, the interest, intent, consideration, etc. And we can have rules that are either based on attributes, behaviors, existing segments, predictive scoring, and other funnel stages themselves. And this makes it very easy, especially if you have already existing segments that say that if you have like an awareness segment already, you can easily add this to the rule builder. Or you can say, like, based on someone's behavior, if any of their behavior is an awareness type action in the past few days, we want them to qualify for this funnel stage. And a few things that make funnels easier are that, first of all, if a person qualifies for multiple funnel stages, for example, they visited the website in the past 2 days, and they've also purchased a bike in the recently, we'll only qualify them for the funnel stage that's the furthest down. So even if they qualify for both awareness and for purchase stage, they'll only belong in the purchase stage. So that means that you can better customize how you present offers and content to your customers. So once you save this, you'll have all your funnels. You'll have your funnels set up, and that every time your master segment refreshes, the number of people and the people who belong to these funnel stages get refreshed, and that you'll see that all the numbers on the right-hand side, the number of profiles in the segment, get updated. So you can see the rule on the left-hand side for the purchase stage is different from what you've seen for the awareness stage, because we want people who've had at least 1 or more orders. And then once you set up all of the stages and the rules for the members who belong in each stage, you can then go and create activations. And the activations help drive conversion from one stage of the funnel to the next stage. And in this example for the awareness stage, we've created 2 different activations. One activation that goes out to MailChimp. And creating an activation within our platform is simple. You can either copy from an existing activation as a template, or you can go and fill out the details yourself. And you can run this on a schedule to update your MailChimp list, for example, every month or every week. And that way you can target users who are in the awareness stage of your Treasure Bikes overall funnel. Okay, Mickey, that's it for the demo of just showing people how you can easily create a funnel, and then like how you can base your funnel stages on, and as well as how you can then send out activation to drive people down the funnel.
That's great. Thank you, Yuli. Really appreciate that. Thanks for taking us back through that and giving us a full demonstration there. I just wanted to make sure everybody understood that the Treasure Bikes e-commerce platform is our own creation, and we do this for testing and development and for demonstrating. And we don't sell any e-commerce platforms, so I just want to let you know. But we have our own bike store, so any point in time that you want to come and buy a bike from us, you can do that. I'm actually totally kidding. But anyway, that was a great kind of day in the life and demonstration for you, and with real-time information going back into our system. So thanks for doing that. And then to close things out, and then I want to take a couple questions, because we definitely have some questions waiting. We've got some upcoming webinars. We've started a brand new series of webinars. A lot of them are, and I think most of them, are going to be hosted right here on our Bright Talk channel. So you'll see some stuff around social media coming up, and we've got just a load of fantastic guests, people that have wanted to be a part of this webinar series with us. So we're really excited to have more content coming at you in this format. And of course, because you're on the Bright Talk platform, they'll always be on demand. So if you ever wanted to go back and see some other stuff from us, it's all there. Please subscribe to our channel. I appreciate it. Now for some questions. We got a question early on, so I want to get to that right away. The question is, can such platforms be connected to any app or platform? Let's say if we are launching a ride-sharing service, how much of an effort is it to integrate the CDP to start managing customer lifecycle? Yili, since you actually have been a part of the integrations team at one point in your life with Treasure Data, would you mind taking that question?
Yeah, sure, Nikki. So we do have out-of-the-box integrations. One of the slides Nikki showed, we have over 150 connectors. And that means a lot of them are bi-directional, so you can import data as well as export data for activations. And while it depends on your different use cases for how much effort it would take to integrate CDP into managing the customer lifecycle, our out-of-the-box connectors, the variety of them are really helpful in getting you set up for getting all of your customer data in one place. And for any connectors that we don't have out of the box, we do have other ways of getting the data into the platform, and you can definitely work with our professional services team or to help you with getting that data in or out of Treasure Data.
Great. Hopefully that answers your question. We have a couple more. Let's see. Will I be able to use Customer Journey Orchestration with testing tools, say, for optimizing my web pages? Is that something that they'll be able to do with Customer Journey Orchestration? I think we should be able to do that, right, Yuli?
Yeah, we do allow you to use A/B testing. While it's not out of the box, we do have the capability of to A/B test customer journeys and see which customer journey is more effective at converting users, or which channels are more effective at converting users. And we can definitely help you with testing tools.
Great. Another question here is, how many journeys can I create? Is there a limit? I don't think there's a limit at all.
No, I think you can definitely create thousands of journeys. We do have customers who are creating tens of thousands of segments, which can translate easily to thousands of journeys.
Right. And the last one that I'm seeing so far, but if you have questions, please feel free, and we definitely can hang in while you type up a question for us. I'm happy to take them now or later. If you have predictive scoring models, maybe they have them within the platform already, can I use multiple scores when I build out stages in the customer, in the journey tool?
We definitely support the ability to use multiple models so that you can improve how you convert customers down and in their customer journey, and hopefully reach out to the customers who are most interested in your products.
Great. So last call for any questions at this point. We are just at the 45-minute hour. I don't see anything more. So come join us again. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. I want to thank you so much for joining us today. Keep safe and healthy during this time, and we hope to see you come back for another webinar later on. Thanks again.
Thanks, everyone.